Hey everyone, Ill Factor here. In this video, I want to share with you a simple tip that you can do when mixing in Ableton Live to help your vocals stand out in the mix by just using some simple delay and sidechain. Also, at the end of this video, I'll share with you a link in which you can download a free template that I've created with some instruments, loops, and some of these effects that you'll get to see in this video. So be sure to download that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's a song I wrote and produced for Ubisoft's video gaming franchise, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It was a project that I was involved in producing original songs inspired by the video game. So it was an awesome project. I had a lot of fun writing and making these songs. And here's one of the songs featuring a female vocalist, Melody Noel. And this one's called Dyer's Evie. So let me just play you the track with the vocals in it, completely bypassed of all the effects on the return. So this is what it's like in context.
Found the secret in the still of night. Every shape and shadow.
Okay, so the vocal sounds great. Now what we want to do is use some simple delay to bring life to that vocals. As you can see, without any effects on it, it just seems dry and a little bit too in your face, and we want to add dimension to that. So the first thing we need to do is create a return track. And so I've got a return track here. I've got A, B, C, and D for some of the instrumentation that I'm using, reverbs and certain delays for that. But now we're going to do a specific return track just for the vocal delay. So let's go ahead and grab the simple delay plugin and drag that in there. Now, the first thing I typically do is make sure that the dry and wet percentage is set to 100%, because I want to be able to balance the dry signal here with the actual vocal and then the complete wet signal here on the return track. So now let's go ahead and send some of this vocal to the return track E.
Found the secret.
Now immediately with some delay on there, it gave a new dimension. It gave some depth to that. So let's increase the feedback, because increasing the feedback on any delay is going to extend the performance of that delay. So when the signal goes to the delay, how much percentage you have on that feedback depends on how long the delay will be sustained. And if you just crank it at 100%, or in this case 95, you'll get that cool, dubby feedback, that delay feedback effect. For right now, let's just go ahead and leave it around 42 to 43, and we'll play back and forth with this feedback to get the right spot here. Now, when using the simple delay in Ableton Live, in order to get a nice wider dimension with your vocals, you want to be sure to have the left signal and the right signal at two different separate delay times. So these are separated by 16th notes. So what I'm going to do is have the left signal set to the number 2, which is 2 16th notes, essentially an 8th note, and then we're going to have the right signal go over to number 4, which is a quarter note. Now let's go ahead and see what that sounds like.
Found the secret in the still of night.
Cool. Now the next step to this is adding a compressor to this simple delay. And now I'm not just going to simply just compress the delay, but what we're going to do is use the sidechain plugin here in the compressor in Ableton Live to basically allow the dry vocal to sidechain the compressor. So every time the vocal is playing, it kind of allows the delay to get out of the way. And when the vocal stops playing, the delay will go ahead and take precedence. So this is a great technique to kind of, allow the delay to not blur the dry vocal performance and to give more accent to the delay after the vocalist is done performing. So let me solo the vocal, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like.
Found the secret.
As you can see how the delay is kind of blurring the live vocal or the dry vocal. So let's go and choose under the sidechain. We're going to choose audio from, and here I'm going to choose the live vocal bus. That's the track I have all the vocals going through. In this case, just the lead vocal. So live vocal bus, and we're going to leave it, post effects. So now what we're seeing here is that the vocal is triggering the compressor. So let's go ahead and bring the threshold down so that once the actual vocal signal passes that threshold, then the compressor will begin to just duck the delayed signal. So let's go and do that now.
Found the secret in the still of night.
And you can see now that the compressor's on, it's actually letting the dry vocal get more of the spotlight. And when the dry vocal finishes, the delay will quickly release the compression and be more in the limelight in the mix. So what I'm going to do is just going to bring down the release a little bit so that it immediately lets go of the delay once it passes that threshold and allows it to come right back into the mix.
Found the secret in the still of
And now let's go ahead and
night.
boost up the makeup gain just to get some balance there.
Found the secret in the still.
So what I'm going to do is
of
bypass
night.
without the compression. You'll see what the difference is.
Every shape and shadow
You can see how the delay is kind of fighting the vocal at the same time.
comes
So with the compression on,
alive.
we now get more of the dry vocal and then the delay after.
I watch you move when the lights go dim. Oh, I'll hold your hand in your final breath.
So you can always tweak the threshold to depend on how much of the ducking you want present, but this is a great technique to allow delay to back off and then come right back onto the scene once the vocal is done performing. So let's go and see what this sounds like in the mix.
Found the secret in the still of night.
And now we'll lower the return just a little bit.
Every shape and shadow
And this is without the compression.
comes alive.
And now with the compression.
I watch you move when the lights go dim.
So just with a little bit of sidechain compression from the actual dry vocal, you can use this as a way to let the delay signal stand back for a while and wait till the dry vocal finishes, and then the delay will be more present. This is a great trick. I like using this because it allows the delay not to get blurred up in the mix, but gives it its nice space and adds some good dimension to the mix. I hope this helps. Be sure to download a free template that I have in which I created a customized delay that you can use just like this one with some more effects and features on it. So it's absolutely free. Just download. You'll find the link in the description box, and hope you enjoy. Take care.